Forget about everybody.
We do a little bit over $30 million in sales.
But it's all a mindset. You live in your own world. Don't try to impress anybody. What is up, guys? Welcome to Focus. My name is Luis Perez, and we have Jacob Rodriguez. This is episode number 9. Catches every single Monday. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the most important thing that you need in order to succeed. And it's something that a lot of people do not put a lot of energy into, and it is your routine. So this routine will create $1 million business, right? Was that the title we were going for?
Yeah, I mean, the routine to $1 million business. And it's not that people don't really focus on it, it's they just don't do it at all.
They don't even think about it.
They don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about it in the past in our last couple of podcasts about consistency. And so, you know, a routine will ensure that you keep yourself accountable and make sure that you'll eventually have success.
And you could have, some people already have a routine, okay? You know what? I kind of argue everybody has a routine. But they just they're implementing the wrong things into the routine. That you want to make sure that everything in your routine is helping you, it's pushing you towards your goal. It's helping you build that business. It's getting you closer to your goal. You don't want things in your routine that are distracting you or making you comfortable or leading you nowhere. Because why? That's a waste of time, right? Scrolling through TikTok, that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
You could be
My
there
routine is waking up at 1 p.m. and scrolling through TikTok and actually getting out of bed at 3 p.m., you know.
Go to work, go back,
Yeah.
sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Eat
And
McDonald's after work, you know. A lot of
terrible,
people
bro.
have those type
Terrible.
of routines.
That's everyone's routine, bro.
So you got to fix your routine and analyze what you're doing every single day to be able to adjust your routine. You know, we're successful people, and we try to keep ourselves accountable for what we do. So some things that, you know, the first thing you do in the morning is you wake up. What time do you wake up? What time do you wake up?
So I started to implement a new sleep schedule for myself. And at first, I was kind of skeptical about it. But now that I'm actually doing it, bro, it's the best thing I've ever done. I wake up at 4 in the morning to get ready to go to the gym at 5 in the morning. Lately, I don't know why, my goal is 4 in the morning, but I've been waking up at 2 in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, I guess my body's not used to sleeping that much. I go to sleep at 9 and then I wake up at 12 and I'm like, I go back to sleep.
Wow.
Get back at 2 in the morning. I'm like, I can't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm already up doing something. Boom, 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 boom. 4 in the morning. 5, go to the gym. From 5, okay, this is my routine. I wake up. Let's just say 4 because I'm not gonna be waking up at 2 all the time. My goal is 4. 4, go to the gym at 5. From 5 to 7, I am working out. From 7 to 11, I am eating breakfast. I am editing. I am posting. I am planning out what I'm gonna be filming for the rest of the day. Afterwards, I go film what I have to film, and by the time all that happens, it's already almost 7 o'clock. I go home. I start getting my night routine, which is basically take a shower, do a little bit of this, maybe have a little bit of fun, read, and by 9 o'clock, I'm already in the bed.
Yeah.
Repeat.
I mean, my schedule is definitely nothing like that one. I think I personally am not waking up at 2 a.m. I'm going to bed at 2 a.m. sometimes. So, you know, I could barely get up it's impossible for me to get up at 2 a.m. But I typically try to get up at 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
So my schedule is a little different as well, though. So I'm staying inside the restaurant and closing the restaurant some days during the week. So I'll stay inside the restaurant until 12:30, 1 a.m. And I try to sleep at least 6 hours a day. So, you know, typically maximum 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
And anything past that, you know, I really don't have enough time in the day to do what I want to do.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And not everyone's routine is going to be the same. Your routine is going to be a lot different than mine because your routine is going to be a lot different than mine because you run a business. You're running a business. You don't know what time you're going to come out. You gotta do what's going to work for you. And I'm doing what's worked for me because I know how my day looks like. Everyone's routine is going to be different. So you just have to kind of lay out when are you going to work. But I hate when people say you don't have time. You have time. Start writing stuff down. I go to work, and then after work, start going to the gym or go to the gym before work. There's time for everything. You just have to make time and cut the distractions and really focus on what you really want to do.
Yeah. I mean, last episode number 8, we talked about, you know, focusing on your skill set to be able to build your business and make $10,000 a month. And so one of the things that we didn't talk about inside
Yes.
there was your routine. What are you doing to really grow your business and try to, make more money and, make 10K a month, make $1 million a year? So, in my business, typically, we do a little bit over $30 million in sales every single year. We have to be disciplined and have to have specific routines in place every single day. So, if it's not either us doing it, it's someone else doing it. So it's like, okay, who's coming in at 9 a.m. and doing all the prep? Who's prepping the rice? Who's prepping the beans? Who's prepping, the restaurant? Who's cleaning the restaurant, making it look all nice? We have to have someone doing that every single day. And so that could also be called routine, or that could be called a system. But it's a system that we have inside the business to ensure that we have the same quality of work inside the restaurant every single day. And so people really appreciate the routine and the consistency. The consistency is super important for us because, consistency either kills or makes your business thrive in life. And so, businesses that aren't typically consistent are ones that do poorly in life. And so that's something that we're really big on.
I love that. You just said consistency.
Yeah.
That comes after the routine. And that's something that is super important because it's easy to get motivated for a week. I've seen people, I'm going to go to the gym Monday. I start going to the gym Monday. They go to the gym Tuesday. You go to stop going to the gym on the third day.
Thursday,
And then,
yeah.
bro, I see it all the time. I go to the gym. Mondays is the most packed day in the gym.
Yeah.
Then throughout the week, it kind of dies down. On
It's like
Saturday,
New Year's. It's
bro.
like New Year's. Everybody
Yes, bro.
gets motivated on January 1st.
Yes.
And then everybody wants to start going to
Yeah.
the gym. It's packed like the first 2 weeks. And then after that, there's literally,
It's
it's
dead.
the same people that was
It's
there
dead.
before.
Bro, I don't even get phased anymore. Every time I was like, yeah, don't worry, it'll die down.
It'll die down.
Yeah.
People aren't consistent. They aren't strong-minded.
But the point is, you have to be consistent, and it's that's the number one. Once you have your routine down, you got to be super consistent. And you got to make it your number one priority. Like there's some times where I don't want to do certain things. I don't want to go to the gym at 2 in the. Who wants to work at 2 in the morning? But I do it anyways.
Yeah.
In a long period of time, you're gonna start to realize that it becomes a habit. Then after a habit, you'll feel more powerful. Like
It's easy to you. Yeah. It's easy to
yeah, everything will be a lot easier because you know that you're capable of doing things that you weren't able to do before. And now it's like, you could take on anything.
And the satisfaction is so much higher as well. The self-satisfaction is like, oh shit, like, I'm up before everybody else is. This is such a great feeling because I'm being productive. I'm doing what I want to do.
Yes.
And so,
Bro,
that's something that no one ever does.
Dude, that also boosts confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're doing that, going to the gym and you're doing stuff that you don't regularly do, trust me, you're walking with your chest up. And
Yeah.
you're going to be talking to people a lot more confident. It's because of that, because you finally believe in yourself and you're doing it. And it's going to show, your spirit is going to show it off.
And if you want to be a business owner, you have to be consistent. If you even want to own a business or thinking about it, if you're not consistent, don't even bother being inside that business because, as an entrepreneur, you have to be consistent. You have to have that routine. You have to have the routine that no one else counts on you besides yourself, So everybody counts on you inside your business. So no one else is going to worry more than you're going to worry. No one else is going to care about your business more than you're going to care about your business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super important for your routine to be really, really good. And, it's like either some people, we have a food distributor. So we have distributors that come bring our food twice a week for all fresh produce and mix everything in that. But if you're, a smaller business, you're going to probably go buy stuff at Restaurant Depot. So you go to Restaurant Depot, you're going to buy your produce. You can't be pulling up to Restaurant Depot at 11 a.m., 12 p.m. because you know what? There's going to be nothing there because everybody else already was waking up at 5, 6 a.m. to pick up their produce and leave it at the restaurant and start preparation. So, that says a lot. You can't do anything at the time you want. You can't be like, oh, you know what? Today I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to sleep until 1 p.m., 2 p.m. You're not going to have any time for your business and your business is not going to strive.
Ooh, that's a good point that you just said right there. So leaving things for later, thinking just because the day hasn't passed, I'll do it later. That later becomes,
All day.
It either becomes, it could become all day, or you're gonna set yourself back on everything else.
Yeah. And your guests inside the restaurant, at least the restaurant-wise, business-wise, are going to be really upset when you don't have that product that they want. So say like, oh, okay, I'm out of corn. You know what? I don't want to go to the store because I woke up too late and I'm going to make 1,000 excuses not to go pick up corn. They come inside the restaurant. It's like, oh, I want to order the corn. Oh, sorry, we're out. You know, they're
You're
gonna be like,
out.
"Oh, really? I drove 20 minutes out here because I wanted that
That
product,
corn.
and you're telling
Yep.
me you don't have it? Oh, I don't think I'm gonna be coming
Makes
back
you look
anymore."
bad. Exactly. Yep.
Makes you look back. You lose
Yep.
business, and at the end of the day, you want everybody to look. You want everybody to be satisfied, over satisfied when
Yeah.
they're inside your business.
You know, another reason as to why you need a routine, other than the fact that it's going to help you blossom your business, is it's important to have 3 wins every single day. One physical, one spiritual, and another one work-wise.
Yeah.
Something related to your work. Posting a video counts. Something that you've always wanted to do that you've never done, you got to do it. That's one of the other wins. As long as you have 3 of those wins every single day, you're on the right track. And sometimes you're gonna feel like you're not on the right track, but as long as you have those 3 down, you're good. Keep it calm, keep pushing forward, and everything's gonna turn out good. Like us, bro. How long we've been doing the podcast?
10 weeks now.
10 weeks. We've been posting without barely getting any views, and finally today we hit a milestone. We hit a pretty big milestone. We had our first viral video.
Semi-viral video. Semi-viral.
But compared to all the other
you think
videos,
it's gonna go super viral?
dude, I
We'll-
think it's gonna
we'll
go.
see.
I've seen this happen before because I've
Yeah.
experienced like some of the videos, but based on the algorithm and
yeah.
the analytics, I kind of feel like it's gonna go a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But the point is that, you know, we had to be consistent. We were
10
posting
weeks.
we kept pushing regardless. We weren't thinking about. Of course, did you ever feel like that, a little bit of negative?
I mean, of course, you're going to feel a little negative. You're like, oh, I'm doing all this work and
Yeah.
it's not paying off. Why is it not paying off? But look, you know, it's already at 15K views and like over 1,000 likes in the first 3 hours or 4
Yeah.
hours since
Yeah.
it was posted. And, you know, it's like, it changes like that. You know, our page started blowing up now, and we're going to keep being consistent
Yeah, of
so
course.
that, you know, videos can go more viral. People can know more about our name, more about our brands. And, you know, it's at the end of the day, it helps us in
Yeah.
our personal image as well.
Yeah, so you're gonna have those moments where you feel like you're doing this for no reason, but then it's gonna pay off. Like right now, we're having this little win.
Yeah.
Maybe in a few weeks, we're gonna start feeling that doubt again.
Oh, yeah.
But that's normal. That's just part of life, brother. If you manage to push through that, which a lot of people do not, that's why there's only 1% of people who make it like extremely successful. Then you're gonna actually experience things that you have never experienced in your life.
You know, I relate to that so much. And I love that you just said that, because in our company, you know, we were very old fashioned with the ways that we were doing the things that we were doing. We would never measure drinks. We would never measure food. We never really were consistent with anything. And then we started pushing the consistency inside the restaurant. That was a whole 2-year process to get drink recipes, to get food recipes, to get consistency. And, you know, I had to let a lot of staff go because they weren't going into that consistency, into the routines that I wanted inside the restaurant. And you know what? My business has never done as many sales that it's doing right now because we changed our formula. Our formula was not working in the past, changed the formula, and now it's ending up in sales. But that was a whole 2 years. And trust me, there are plenty of times where I'm like, oh God, this isn't working. I'm getting really tired of this. And then boom, I have a weekend that's fucking amazing.
There
You
you
know,
go.
like I have Saturdays where I sell $120,000 in one fucking day. And so it's like, wow, you know, it's finally paying off. But you know how many years I had to work for it to finally get there?
But you stuck to your gut,
Yeah.
and then 2 years, bro. That's dedication right there.
And it paid off. I mean, it
Yeah.
paid off super well. And I think right now that the economy is a little slower and people don't have as much money, and I'm still doing those amount of sales, that's amazing. But then I know that when the economy gets better, boom, it's going to pay off even more.
Yeah.
And those $120,000 in sales are going to be $150,000 in sales. It's going to be $200,000 in sales in one day. Because one thing I've learned from entrepreneurs myself is that there's always bad times, but eventually comes the good times.
Yeah.
And you have to be prepared for the bad times, but also be prepared for the good times and not take advantage of that.
And also enjoy the bad times as much as the good times.
Yeah, exactly. It's a learning step, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's a great opportunity for you to learn and take advantage of it. About you know, making mistakes or seeing what your faults are, what you're doing wrong. I mean, you have to be the biggest critique about yourself and your business. And so you'd be like, oh, you know what? I didn't do that correctly. I didn't do that right. You know what? I'm gonna improve that, but it's up to me to make sure it comes out right. And so, you know, sometimes we do some specials, and the specials, I see that come out and they're not the nice presentation that I wanted to do before. You know what? I'm going to be in charge of taking out the special until they learn exactly how I want it. And boom, that satisfaction from the guest pays out, and more people start ordering the specials.
You're
that they
really
want.
aware with things, and I feel like a lot of people don't really have that. A lot of people take it's like they might have it, they might build it over the years.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people who have channels who have been doing channels for years and still haven't seen any progress. But then after years, they start implementing different things. Is when things starts to happen.
Yeah, I mean, in your business, I think right now it's a crazy news. This last Thursday, I believe TGI Fridays filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, I heard that.
So they closed a bunch of restaurants all over the state of Connecticut, and it's super unfortunate, super sad to see about that. But why did that happen? You have to think about it. It's like, okay, they didn't update their menu, their service wasn't up to par, they weren't doing any crazy specials, they weren't focused on the experience. That's why they failed. You know what? I'm going to do the complete opposite so I make sure my business does well. And so you have to learn not just from your own failures, but everyone else's failures, because you don't want to commit the same mistakes that other companies are doing. And that's why they file for bankruptcy, or they go under.
You know what I feel like, and I can't speak a lot because I haven't done the research on TGI Friday. I don't know why they filed for bankruptcy, but just thinking a little bit in my head, could it be that they got a little bit comfortable knowing that, we're already on top of the game? Because TGI Fridays is a big company, right?
Yeah, I think they have like 200 locations.
Yeah, maybe
all
they
over
got
the
a little
country.
bit too comfortable, and they're like, we're gonna get past this, and that comfortability that killed them.
Yeah.
Killed them.
And I mean, they didn't save their company soon enough. I think they were seeing the downgrades, and they didn't have the big push or emphasis to let's fix this right away, and then it was too late. And so they started doing things like before it ended, but they already had that bad reputation. People would much rather go to a small, pop-owned restaurant.
Yeah, like a family-owned restaurant.
Than a big brand nowadays.
Yeah.
You know why? It's because the big brands aren't doing crazy things. They're not they're not consistent. They don't care about your food quality. They don't care about your drinks. They don't care about your experience. And there's only a couple big franchises that I know that really do it well. And one of them is Capital Grille. Capital Grille's Steakhouse. They do really, really well when it comes to the guest experience inside the restaurant. And that's why I think they're such a successful franchise, is because they're super focused on the guest experience and the consistency inside the food, consistency inside the drinks. While Chili's or TGI Fridays, and they're not really focused on that type of stuff. And that's why they end up losing,
Bro, that makes sense, because if you go to a restaurant, you feel like they just want my money. It feels like a business. It feels like a robot. Other than if you go to a family-owned restaurant, everyone's happy, everyone's greeting you, everyone's treating you like you kind of feel like you're a part of that family, and then you're getting kind of cook.
Well, I think the guest mentality has changed a lot, because it's a transaction. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to your restaurant, I'm gonna spend money. What do I get in return? I want to get great food, and I want to have a great experience. So if you feel like you leave a restaurant and your transaction, you feel like you didn't get what you deserved off of that money, then you're never going to go back. And so that's why you have to take it that way, because you have to count. The one thing I read in a book, I forget what book it was, but it says, treat every single one of your guests like your last guest. And how are you going to treat your last guest? With love, with patience, and with a lot of effort.
And they're going to come back to your restaurant.
Yeah.
If I go to a restaurant, I get treated like that, trust me, I'm coming back. Because there's not a lot of people who offer that nowadays.
Yeah. And so I think that comes with routine. I think, there's a lot of things that we take in place inside the restaurant to make sure that we do those type of numbers and do those crazy amount of sales. And, a lot of it comes from training. I do trainings every single Thursday at 9 a.m. in our corporate office.
Training is as in staff training?
So staff training, orientation
for
all the new staff inside.
Okay.
So we're a company that has over 300 employees. It's not easy controlling 300 employees.
That's a lot.
I can't control 300 employees by myself. So what do? I take charge of every single new staff member inside the restaurant. So what happens every single morning at 9 a.m., I don't wake up. I wake up earlier than that, but I do the training inside the corporate office, and I train all the new staff, so that when the first day, on day one, they already know what to expect inside the restaurant. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I'm going to the corporate training. Oh, okay. So, I want, I teach them about, the hospitality wise of the company, what we do, why we do it, guest satisfaction, selling, upselling. And so I kind of go through every single step. I go through the step from when the hostess, when you should greet someone, to when you should seat someone, to where you should see someone. I go through every single step so that day one, they already know what to do. And
Perfect.
then honestly, and then it goes off of the managers, and the managers more thoroughly train every single person. But that's a routine that
like a
we
chain, a
do
chain
inside
goes
the
down. Yeah,
restaurant,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
I can't train 300 people every single day. That's just going to be, and then I have people leaving and coming in every single day as well. So it's like impossible to take control of that, especially of 8 locations. So I take charge of the first new hires, and then I teach the managers how to thoroughly train everyone else after that. And so, it's a routine and it works. And that's why, we're getting 600 covers on the weekend because of those routines.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
What is something in a routine for anybody watching right now? What is something that is imperative for them to have in that routine?
Read and learn.
Reading? Oh, reading is huge. 'Cause
Reading and learning,
reading
or
is
not
huge.
even reading, just like you've been listening to podcasts and everything like that.
Podcasts.
I think you should never stop learning. There's something to learn from every single person. There's so many restaurants in Connecticut that you go to, and they're packed. And you try their food's mediocre. You try their drinks are mediocre. You're like, why is this place so packed? Oh, the guest experience. They're super, they make that connection with all their guests. So that's why they're so packed. Or you go to this other place and it's like, why are they so packed? Oh, you try their food's amazing, but their drinks are all right. At the end of the day, you want to make sure you try to have the best drinks, the best food, and the best service and connection with your guests, but always keep learning. And so one thing I think you should do every single day inside your routine is learn some type of way. Even off of TikTok, you can learn. You can search up entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, or restaurateurs.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do inside their routines? And just try to learn from every single person. And there's this great guy on TikTok that I see that he interviews like millionaires, and he's like, what do you do for a living? What's the most
I know
you
who
do
you're
for a
talking
living?
about.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
what's the most type of money you do?
Yeah.
And so I hear all these like negotiating skills, and I'm like, wow, like these people are smart. Like one of the guy that did over like $60 million in sales in 1 year, he made in profit. He's like, never be afraid to walk away from a deal. And so you'd be like, why? Why would you even do that? Why would you walk away from a deal? I mean, because maybe you're not getting what you're supposed to be getting inside that deal. So that's something huge.
That
Always
is
learn from
getting hands
everybody,
down.
even if it's
Yeah.
from someone from another field.
Yeah.
It could be a professional soccer player.
Yeah.
What do you learn from that professional soccer player? What do you learn from a chef? What do you learn from all these different type of areas? So just always keep learning.
Yep. So networking could be part of that. Networking, learning.
Yeah, networking and education is super big.
Bro, you know what's crazy? Now that we're speaking about the phone, I know phones are, depending on what you're doing on your phone, it can be super terrible for you. But can you guess my screen time
Your screen time is probably like 8 hours.
a day?
Yeah,
It's probably more than 15.
15 hours a day.
Probably 15, 20 hours a day.
Holy crap!
14, 15, yeah. But the way that I have my phone set up is it's like
Holy shit.
I'm utilizing my phone to inspire, to motivate me, to drive me, bro. Like if you go to anything on my platform, it's literally something about business, something about motivating,
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini. You see, I'm always sending you stuff.
sent me the Lamborghini this morning.
Bro, literally everything that I watch is something that it's my vision. I'm looking at
You're manifesting it, yeah.
dude, it's like I already have a vision implanted in my head, and when I see it on my phone, it's like, yo, I gotta get to work. Let's do it. So, boom, boom. I mean, they're listening to podcasts too. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of I repeat reels. Like, bro, I can repeat like a reel for like a good 4 hours.
It's stuck in your head. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it completely makes sense, And I think people would be like, "Oh, you read a book once. Why are you going to read the same book twice?" But you could read the second time and you get different perspectives that you didn't get the first time. And so same thing could happen with that. I mean, my screen time is probably like 6 hours a day, but honestly, if you check my phone calls every single day, you'll see that I take at least 60 to 70 phone calls.
Bro, you have
every
that
single
many
day.
hours on phone calls,
Dude. It's 60 to 70 phone calls every single day. So I'm taking phone call after phone call after phone call. I typically only just use my phone for phone calls because I get sick and tired of it. And I also, I follow a lot of motivational pages on Instagram and on TikTok, so I can see people manifesting stuff and everything like that. And so I actually have these cousins based out of Seattle. She started her own clothing brand. and her clothing brand, I think she already did $1 million in sales.
I think you showed me that.
She's 18 years old.
Bro, that's huge.
And shout out to the Barajas Project. That's my last name.
Barajas.
Rodriguez Barajas. Yeah, so Barajas Project.
I didn't
and
even
so,
know
you know, she does super well in life, and I'm super happy for her. And she really took advantage. I think her TikTok page is Alo, A-L-O. I think it's like that, but she does really well for herself. And, you know, comes with the routine. It comes with being special. And I think it's super important for you to have a strong routine and, you know, keep learning and strive for greatness always. I'm sorry about the background noise, you guys. You know, as you guys see in the background, we have people working, you know.
Yeah, we're in the restaurant.
And I smell some delicious food right now, too.
Bro, I haven't eaten nothing today.
I'm starving.
I need to eat. But routine. Guys,
How much time are we at right now?
We're at like 25, almost 30 minutes.
Yeah. So, guys, follow us on TikTok. If you watch this, I don't know if you want to talk about anything else.
No. If that's it, you guys.
I think,
yo,
maybe what else can we talk about? I think
no. That's perfect.
I think that was a pretty good amount.
Yo, cherry on top, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. If you even watched this far, my name is Luis. We got Jacob Rodriguez.
Yes.
He is the owner of Puerto Vallarta, and I have a videography business. We should have mentioned that in the beginning.
Yeah, we gotta be more consistent. That has to be a routine.
Yeah. Because no. But thank you guys for watching. Every single Monday, we are posting a video. I don't have a specific time yet because sometimes it fluctuates. I'm always editing other stuff or posting. But every single Monday, there's going to be a podcast. So if you stay tuned, comment below, talk to me about your routine. What's happening?
Find us on TikTok. Find us on Instagram. Where you're going to be seeing reels or clips every single day. So just keep following us on there.
So build your routine and stay focused. We'll see you on the next one.
Stay focused, you guys. Have a good one.